Hi, I'm Kim and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Now today we're in my kitchen because we've talked on and off a little about the negative health impacts that victims, target survivors experience when exposed to cluster Bs. There is an absolute connection between being involved in a relationship with a cluster B and becoming physically sick. Now, I've kind of touched on this in videos before and said, during the times I was with Trevor, now, when Trevor and I were together, it was a 5-year period of time, and it was on and off. Of course, mostly on. We'd go a year and I'd leave for 2, 3, 4 months. I'd go back, I'd stay 6 months, I'd leave for a month, that kind of thing, back and forth. Now, during the times I was with Trevor, something would immediately change in me, and that was my health. I would become extremely thin, very weak, very sick, and nosebleeds. Oh my God, the nosebleeds. I had nosebleeds all the time. And of course, a nosebleed like that is going to stem from high blood pressure, which of course I was getting from all the stress of being with the fiend. Now, from the comments, I gather that I'm not the only person that was made physically ill during a relationship with a narcissist. And stress, of course, tends to be one of those things that's very, very apparent in people's lives. Stress can be the catalyst to weaken your immune system. It can open up a portal for all kinds of disease and illness. And there are very low-cost, inexpensive, natural ways that you can help reduce stress in yourself and help boost your immune system. And I'm going to show you my favorite way today here in my kitchen. Today we're going to make a natural tea that I make here quite often, and is quite low cost. Now it starts, the base of the tea is going to be those crunchy onion skins that come on the outside of just your standard yellow onion. And the skin will snap off those quite easily. I do have some here in the colander that I've washed, and we're going to put those in some water and we're going to start to steep those. Now this pot is about 1/4 of the way full with purified water. The onion skins have been added to those, and I'm going to put those on the stove and let them steep. Now I'm going to add 1 organic tea bag, and this is white tea, but I'm going to rinse it first under cold water, and I always recommend that you rinse tea bags first. These filters that they come in definitely are bleached, and you just want to make sure that the tea has been thoroughly rinsed. You're fairly safe with organic tea products. So I've just rinsed that in cold water, and I'm going to add that to the pot. We're going to let that boil a little, and then we're going to let it steep. Now, I want to boil the onion skins, and I want to boil the tea bag. So those have now boiled, and I've put them on simmer. So to that, I want to add lemon skin. So this organic lemon, I've just cut off a small part of it, and I'm just going to squeeze that juice out into my juicing container. And once I've done that, because I'd like to include the natural essential oils in the lemon skin, so you can just throw that right into the pot and give that a stir, and that will release the essential oils. Oops, we got a little seed. So once you've squeezed that juice out, that can just stay here with the juicer. Now, 2 other things that are really important, I think, are ginger, and I'm going to use about that much, maybe 2 little nubs. That's organic ginger, and another is going to be organic turmeric. Now, you probably don't want to handle the turmeric a lot. The turmeric is extremely healthy for you, a tremendous boost for your immune system. And I will tell you, when I first got here to my home after leaving Trevor, I was still having night terrors, and of course I was still getting the nosebleed very regularly. But once I found this recipe for the tea, and I've altered it up a little here and there, but this is now kind of my concoction, I will tell you the nosebleeds and my stopped immediately, and my stress level absolutely plummeted to where I could function normally. So in addition to the ginger and the turmeric, I'm just slicing up some organic Royal Gala apples. And the reason I add the apple is, first, I think the apple adds a bit of, well, an apple cider type flavor to the tea is one thing. And the other thing is the ginger and the turmeric are very dense, and they will get kind of trapped in the blades of my juicer. So when I push the apple through afterwards, I notice a tremendous amount of ginger and turmeric coming through with the apple. So I mostly use the apple to flush the turmeric and ginger through. Okay, so our stuff's boiling. We have the extract, the juice from the ginger, turmeric, and apple there in the teapot. I just give that a stir, and that's boiling nicely. And what I want to do is I want to pull out all of this turmeric and ginger pulp. Now, it's okay if you get some of the apple pulp in there too, but I just pull out primarily the ginger and the turmeric because I'm actually going to throw all that pulp in the pot as well. Now, the tea had boiled and steeped, and I've strained it, and I've put it all in the teapot where I will just leave it all day. Now, to this, I added about 1 tablespoon of organic sugar, and I've added 2 large tablespoons of raw, unpasteurized, natural honey. And you can have this beverage hot. It's absolutely delicious. Or you can refrigerate it and make cold iced tea later. Now, unfortunately, getting away from the narcissist is not enough. We drag a tremendous amount of stress and grief with us. And if your health has been reduced, I think it's really important as part of your healing to consider your physical well-being also, because I'll tell you, I was an absolute shaking, frail, thin mess. I couldn't sleep. I was having night terrors all the time. And this concoction, I actually call it Narc Repellent tea. This Narc Repellent tea has been tremendously beneficial for me. I'm going to put the recipe there in the description. And it's very important, I think, that we lower our stress levels. Stress is an absolute killer. And if you've gone through that tremendous struggle to get free to now, live with this accelerated level of stress, that's not fair either. It reduces your immune system. It opens up a portal for disease. And for me, having this tea, and I'll make the tea about 3 times a week. So I've really found that I'm sleeping better. My stress level's much lower. Yeah, my hands are all bright yellow from the turmeric, but that's okay. Eventually it washes off. I know a lot of you are suffering from really, really high levels of stress, and this will trigger other illness in you. So I hope you give this a try. Again, the recipe will be in the description. And if you do try it, I'd love to hear back and see how it's worked for you, because it's been great for me. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. Peace be with you guys, and thanks for joining me here in my kitchen today.